Hi there, guys. It's me, Stranger Shell, and we will have the new video, the third video for our channel, and we will be discussing about difficult times amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, we all know that this is a very difficult times. A lot of us are actually facing a lot of problems right now, emotionally, financially, and we can't even really figure out how we can get through this. We have a lot of questions. So, um, for this video, we're gonna be talking about. I would also like everyone also to share some comments, to talk about how we can get through this. Every country also dealing with this differently. The Ocean Hive family also want to hear what is actually happening in your country and how do you actually deal with it. So you can actually make a comment of how the situation is going in your country. But for this video, we will be talking about some important things that we have to remember. Also, the Ocean Hive would also like to share some important things that we have to remember through when we are getting through this global crisis. So, of course, we're going to be focusing with the following. The first one is our government. The second one is how badly will this impact our economy. The third is, of course, within you, yourself, and the number four is, how can we how can we give our hand and help people who are actually need help the most, and who are those people who are who really need our help much. So the first thing that we'll be talking is about government, and we all know that in it's really different in different government in different countries are really trying to figure out. It's very different. We have different systems of government. We have different systems of not only different systems of government, but at the same time, we all know that we also have different leaders who actually have different approach of how they deal with this pandemic. So I think the most important thing, maybe we can really see that the most common thing that we can also be grateful with our government is that at least everyone is really trying their best, is really trying to make effort, and we can really hope to that they're trying to make efforts to fight this global crisis, to fight this global pandemic. And you know, I think we at some point we just have to trust our government, and we have to maybe cooperate rather than criticizing, because that is also what is happening in my country right now. A lot of people are just blaming the government because of lack of this and lack of that. And maybe I think this is not really the time for us to do the pointing fingers. This is actually the time for us to help one another. And regardless of you hate your government, the system of government you have in your country, I think it doesn't really matter these days. We are fighting a very difficult enemy here, something that we cannot actually see. And I think right now it's not about who has the greatest idea. It's not about pointing, giving your point, giving exactly your point, that your point is, it's not about like you have the great idea, and it's not about that. Now is the time for unity. Now it's time for us to join forces together, not just only country by country, but I think this is also an opportunity for every country around the world also to unite to fight this kind of enemy that, once again, I'll have to say something that we cannot really see. So we just hope that whatever country you belong, that your government will always find ways, and to continue support your government, and that's we can really hope. And I know whatever it is, regardless of your views, your opinion about your government, whether you don't agree much, probably because during the last election, you conducted the last election in your country and you're not actually in favor of the leader who actually got the position, the higher rankings or the higher position in your country. So it doesn't really matter. That kind of mentality doesn't really matter anyway as of these days because we're really facing a major crisis here. And as much as it our government would really much appreciate if we can actually give a hand. And this is not actually the the times to become a critic, to become um, to just only see, about the wrong deeds that our government is doing. This is actually the time to reach out and to actually to support. And you know you can also evaluate some of the policies. Of course, you will definitely say that we have to consider also the policies. We all have that, but as long as the policy is for the greater good, then I think there's actually no reason for us to not to give our 100 support to our government. So but that is just really what I hope. And in my country, I'm just so thankful that the government system, the government, and regardless, there are many oppositions in our government. Our government is divided into many different administrations, and it really depends. There's a lot of oppositions and that happening in the government, but I think now they are setting it aside and they're just really trying to unite together to actually fight this. So, and I hope that each and every country in the world will also get support from the government. And I think you have nothing to worry because your government is actually working for that. And I know that we can really get through this also. So we must also try to consider our government as well as we try to face this global pandemic. The other one is also the economy. And the problem is there's actually going to be before, during, and after in every situation. The before, the during, and after. So problem is we never actually got the opportunity to prepare for this during the before times. This is something that we weren't able, we don't have a time machine that we can actually see what will happen in the future. So our economy, most of the economies in the world did not actually prepare for this. So this is going to have a huge impact not only into the economies of one country. That doesn't mean that China is the only one who faced this. It doesn't mean that the Chinese economy will be the ones that were going to be affected. Somehow each of our country will also undergo a crisis and we're all going to be affected, and that can really also be a great effect in our country. So um, as you can see, businesses are closed, stores are closed, a lot of establishments are closed, and a lot of people are actually losing their business. And this is a very difficult time, especially for the business owners. And uh, especially, if you belong to a family who actually owns a business. It's okay for the businesses who actually have the essentials, who actually sell the essentials like food, water, or essential services like electricity, because they can keep on. But for other businesses, this is going to be a very difficult time s- for those type of businesses, and which again can greatly affect the economy. I was also active. I am an active investor in the stock market, and there are really lots of bloods in the streets in the stock market, I think worldwide. So I think I've also, you know, it's really something that we cannot really foresee. And I think for investors out there, this this can really be a lesson for all of us, for the investors, that we have to really foresee this somehow in the future. We have to, I've seen a lot of financial gurus, and this is really what they are trying to tell me. And I've actually lose a large amount of money in the stock market because, I did not hear with some of the gurus that there might you need to have an emergency fund, you need to have savings, you need to save. So I didn't actually listen to my financial guru, but you know, experience is actually a great teacher. So yeah, right now I was able to learn something with my financial guru, and we can learn from this experience that never underestimate the importance of saving, and investment is actually good, but the stock market moves in volatility, and right now it really crashed. Every stock market in the world really crashed, and yeah, it would be just so helpful if I was able to prepare some emergency fund. But this is only regardless with people who invest in the stock market. But this is also for the people that it's very important really to have an emergency fund, because right now we can't really. There are people who are actually on a terms of no work, no pay. So it's so difficult. And now we realize that it's very important. Saving money is very important. And it's always been part of financial literacy, but we always take it for granted. So this will surely, for me, this will surely affect the world economy. After this, I think during the we have the events from this, the before, the during, and I think it will really have a great, huge impact even after the crisis, even after the pandemic. Forgive me for the sounds that you've been hearing. It's been really it's been really noisy this just now because I think they're just starting to feed the chickens, and it's now really it's now really um, flocking and trying to eat their trying to eat something. I think the owner is now feeding the chickens, so it's a little bit noisy. I'm sorry about that. But going back, yeah, it's a lot of our brothers and sisters right now are really facing difficult times because they're losing their business, and others are not really on a no work, no pay terms. So it's really a difficult time. It's really a tough times for all of us, and we have to really be more. We have to really be more um, careful. We have to really think of the future next time that we really don't know. So I think our advice here in the Ocean Hive is that it would be much better if you can actually prepare yourself an emergency fund. You have to save something. You have to have a money that you can actually get in times like this, in times of emergency, because you can never really know. And right now, it really happened. It's a difficult time. The next thing that that we will also discuss is the self. You yourself. So I think anyway, I think we already know what to do. We have to, if we go out, we have to wear a mask. You have to just to make this short, because I already discussed long for the government and for the economy. Maybe the best thing that we in the Ocean Hive can actually share to each and everyone is just be part of the solution, not the problem. And this is actually, you can really see what happened to other countries. People are just not really listening to, in fact, we already know what to do. We already know what we can do, what to do, what we can do, but people are just not listening. So if we really don't, if we don't become the part of the solution, we always become part of the problem. So I think nothing will really happen. And that's just the important thing. If you need to go out, you need to go out responsibly, wear your mask, and wear the important things that you actually need to wear to keep yourself protected. And lastly, I think we have to owe here in the Ocean Hive, we would really like to thank our new heroes in this generation, the frontliners. Thank you so much for all the frontliners around the world, to all the nurses out there risking your lives to serve all the PUIs and all the people who are actually who are fighting for their life for fighting for their life, as they go through the the 2019 pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. So we really owe everything to our frontliners. They are the soldier that really, they are the ones who are fighting the battle for us. So we need to protect them. We need to let them feel that we all have we all love them. And in our country, I'm so happy because there's been a lot of tribute happening for the nurses. A lot of private institutions are giving out gifts, giving out free food for all the nurses out there. They're also giving a lot of love and support to our doctors, to our nurses. They are truly the new hero in our generation, and we owe everything to them. Thank you so much for the frontliners. And guys, please stay safe. And it's very important also. Let's create a community. You can talk about whatever you want in the description, in the comments below. So let's just help one another, and I know that we can get through this. As they say, there's always light, after the tunnel. There's always after a very dark cloud, there's always a rainbow, there's always the sunshine, and I know we can get through this. Thank you so much, and this has been the Ocean Hive. Thank you, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye.